Bryant wants to know, does Bruce think there is a gimmick match that is done so often that the appeal of the match has been lost?
I think they all have been.
Really?
I think that overall that gimmick matches are overused. And you get a fallback, man, where, oh, hey, that was really great. Well, let's go to that. In the old days, you got a cage match maybe once, maybe twice a year. I know I'm going back to the olden days and stuff, when wrestling was wrestling. But I think that most gimmicks starting I think ECW in that genre, the hardcore, where nothing meant anything, that there became a tendency to rely on gimmicks for a match because either guys couldn't work or it was just easier. And it was Paul Bosch and Jim Ross and let's have Slack Night. All right, I got an idea. How about we have Slack Night? Sassafras.
You said Slack Night?
Slack Night.
What is Slack Night?
I've explained this on here. Thank you for paying attention to what I say. But Slack Night back in the day. So we're talking 50s and 60s. Okay. Was a ploy to get women to come to the matches, come to the live events. And what they would do is if a woman showed up in slacks, then she got in half price. So Slack Night, if women wore pants, for folks that don't know what slacks are, women wore pants, they got in for half price that night because women always wore dresses normally in the 50s and 60s. So every time that JR would put like at the top of the page and he would send us the suggested card from Mid-South, it'd be like Fan Appreciation Night or Texas is Great Night or, Houstonians Love Houston Night. That kind of thing. Paul would be just like, oh, I guess we're having Slack Night. Huh? And that's what Slack Night is. And it's a gimmick to get people to come to the matches who maybe wouldn't ordinarily come to wrestling matches.
I know you sort of blame DCW for normalizing so many gimmick matches, but if we're really going to wag our finger in that direction, it should probably be pointed at Memphis, should it not? I mean, they were the kings of the gimmick match.
Oh, they definitely were. I would say, though, mainstream when, ECW was being seen and they had a niche audience, that it became more prevalent with them because it was so much and it was extreme, if you will. But every match was more or less a gimmick. In Memphis, yeah, definitely a lot of gimmicks there. But then there were territories like New York. Very seldom did you see, you got maybe, as I said before, maybe a cage match, maybe 2 cage matches a year, things like that. Houston, the cage was a huge deal. With Wahoo McDaniel, you would get a Indian strap match, but Texas death matches, again, they were infrequently used.
I don't think we can really talk about gimmick matches in the WWE without talking about the most special one of all, which I think really is just perfectly explained with your point. The Royal Rumble is a gimmick match that fans are not tired of and they still get excited about. And to your point, it's because they do it once a year.
Right. You're not going to see the Kansas City Royal Rumble and then 4 weeks later see the Tampa, Florida Royal Rumble. And then 6 weeks after that, we're going to have the Royal Rumble in San Francisco. You get it one time a year.
Right.
And it's a special match that people anticipate. They're excited about seeing it. And if you did it more than once a year, people be, oh God, man, I don't care who's coming out.